Hey everyone, it's Nicole Wilkins with FitnessRx for Women, and this is my next question and answer segment where I took your questions from Facebook and I'm going to answer them for you today. The first question I have is, do you change your lifting program when you transition from building muscle to burning fat? Or do you lift the same and just modify your diet and add more cardio? Thank you. So throughout the year, my training pretty much stays consistent. I mix up the exercises and the sets and try to challenge myself with the weight all the time, all year round. Now, the way I structure my workouts is dependent on how I want to shape my body. So, for example, my legs can gain muscle fairly easy, so I keep my repetitions higher, weight a little lower, rest periods a little shorter. Whereas my upper body I want to keep full and make sure that it balances out my lower body. So I lift heavier with less reps and with lower reps and less rest. So, but if I want to burn fat, then I increase the cardio and I change up my diet. So those are the main things that change. The next question I have is, what are your favorite exercises for building big shoulders? I'm relying on the military press a lot for the side delts, and I feel like I've hit a many month-long plateau. How can I mix it up? Thank you. Well, when you're building shoulders, you want to make sure that you hit all angles. I always start with a press because it's a compound, it's a compound move. It takes the most energy, and you can usually lift the most weight at the beginning of your workout. So any military press like you were doing with the straight bar, you could do dumbbell press, you could do machine press. I like to use the hammer strength machine sometimes, which is the plate loaded machines. So I always start with some type of press, and then I'll do front raises, side raises, and rear delts. So I make sure to hit all angles of the shoulder, and then if I still have energy at the end, I may do another press just to finish it out. But within those workouts, I'll also do drop sets, I'll do supersets. I won't just do 3 sets of 15. I might do 5 sets, or I might do, I'm always mixing it up, but I love to feel that burn and get the blood flow into the working muscle. So just keep at it, keep lifting heavy with proper form. So that's the big thing. You want to lift with proper form. The next question I have is, what is the best way to lose weight on your legs and tone up without your upper body going too thin? Well, this is kind of like what I was talking about earlier. You want to structure your workouts so that for you would keep your repetitions a little higher and your rest periods shorter when training legs. So, keep your reps around 15 to 20, rest less. So do supersets, do giant sets, do lots of circuits, high intensity stuff like plyometrics, maybe hit the track and run the bleachers. And then for your upper body, so that you keep fullness, you want to lift heavy. So make sure that you're doing, 3 to 4 sets of maybe pyramid it up. Do anywhere from 6 reps to 12 reps. So really challenge yourself in lifting heavy in your upper body so that you create more balance. The next question is, how do I find motivation? I seem to have lost it. Well, unfortunately, I wish I could give that to you, but that's something you have to find within yourself. As we go throughout life, motivation has highs and lows. It's not always consistent. I even have days where I don't feel like going to the gym, or I don't feel like, I'm just not motivated. But then over time, if you just consistently keep at it, it will come back. It also helps to have a goal. So if you don't have a specific goal in mind, and I'm not talking about just saying, oh, I want to lose weight. I want to run a 5K by August 1st, or I want to fit into a size 6 jean by July. It's got to be specific. So that is something that will keep you motivated. A vacation will keep you motivated, getting ready for a big event. So think about something that would keep you focused. Maybe challenge a friend, or create a work contest where you have your coworkers involved, so that everybody kind of is included and keeps everybody fired up. Those are just some ideas, but keep at it, it'll come back. And the last question I have is, if the number on the scale goes up, how can you tell whether it's muscle or just extra weight? Well, the scale is a good indicator, but I would recommend doing body fat as well as circumference measurements. So you know that the density of muscle is much more than fat. So if you have two people that are 140 pounds and one person is 140 pounds of fat and the other person is 140 pounds of solid muscle, the 140 pounds of muscle is going to look smaller than the 140 pounds of fat, even though they weigh the same. The circumference measurements are going to be less, and it's going to look totally different. So circumference measurements are good. Body fat testing is good, although there is an error if you're going to be doing skin folds. Usually there's like a 2 to 5% error. So hydrostatic weighing is a good way to do that, which is underwater weighing. But don't get too stressed out about the scale, because it can change all the time. I mean, you can gain 5 pounds in one day just from the foods you eat and the water you drink. So it is a good measure, but don't get too stressed out about that number. That's all I have for you guys this week. Until next week, ask your questions on Facebook, and I will pick 5 every Friday. Keep living the fit life.